Transmite en su canal de frecuencia modulada estereofónica multiplex La Voz Radio desde New Haven, Connecticut al mundo. Transmite en su canal de frecuencia modulada estereofónica multiplex La Voz Radio desde New Haven, Connecticut al mundo.
Buenas tardes, good afternoon. You're listening to Caprice, Taylor Mendez, Juntos Podemos on WNHH 103.5 FM every Monday from 3 to 4 p.m. here at La Voz Hispana Radio, broadcasting live from downtown New Haven. La primera parte será en inglés y tenemos alguien especial con nosotros que por el momento está en camino desde Bridgeport, Connecticut, para estar con nosotros aquí. And we're going to be joined shortly with a special guest who is traveling all the way from Bridgeport to join us here in downtown New Haven. You can also catch us streaming live on www.lavozhispanaradio.com. And you can also catch us live on Facebook at La Voz Hispana CT. That's LAVOZHISPANACT. So great to be back, and it's sunny outside and not too hot, not too cold. And I was just, I took a 30-minute walk during lunch, which I felt so lucky that I actually had the privilege to be able to take a 30-minute break around the block and walk, and feeling a little achy in the bones and needed to stretch. And that reminded me of a community conversation that is going on at this time at a statewide level, which is the public option, and the privilege of knowing that if my back doesn't feel any better, I could go see the doctor and maybe they'll send me to a specialist and et cetera, because I have health insurance. And not everyone in Connecticut has the privilege to have access to health insurance. In one of our shows, we talked about undocumented immigrants, if they had the money, are still not allowed to buy into health insurance. And public option right now that's being discussed at the State House would provide access to everyone in Connecticut who's able to pay into state administered health insurance could do so. It's not existent at this time, and we have strong support from our congressional leaders at the State House. I hope we could have support from all of our leaders to provide people with access to health insurance. And public option would also allow for small business owners, entrepreneurs, artists, people who cultivate work for themselves, run their own business, pay their bills, but they're not allowed to buy into health insurance policies that have quality care, access to quality care, and won't break the bank. And so talking to friends, we have a new friend of mine, Janetta. Thank you for joining us.
Yes. Thank you for having me, inviting me. We've been working at it a while, but determination, So thank you for...
And what a pleasure to have you here, because one of my personal opinion, humble personal opinion, is the lack of health insurance chokes up innovation, creativity in our state.
Yep.
In all different fields. And your field, you're a business owner and an artist.
Yeah.
Does access to health insurance, is that an issue affecting your sector?
Definitely, because in the past I've noticed my reason for applying for certain jobs or for the benefits that came along with it more versus me being passionate about what it is I'm doing. So it definitely takes a toll as a creative when it comes to like living a whole complete everyday life. Like these things are things that we think about because when you're starting to think like long term and family and contribution, it's like basic needs do have to be fulfilled and not neglected. So it's something that I actively think about being in the early stage and development of my company. So yeah, thanks for asking.
Yeah, you're welcome, because I know that you put a lot of thought into this, because your company and what you're building, you actually didn't just want to lift yourself up to have sustainability as an artist, but you're also thinking of the community of artists.
Yep. Well, sorry. But all of it derives almost in the same niche of being able to live a more like wholesome everyday life. I noticed while being at certain jobs, for the, just being young and not thinking about living life as a creative for the start of it. It's like we go to college, we're told to utilize a platform to get a job, and then from the job you get your career. And my first career professionally is in the food industry. So I've worked in many restaurants, and after the benefits always come with it, especially when you're a chef and you're cooking in the kitchen. You're more likely to get those benefits versus being a server or bartender. You're kind of like, for the financial aspect of it, you're almost like an independent contractor. Like you have to file on your tips and all of that. So all of that was like really cool. And then I was like, hey, I'm not, when's the last time I performed? Like
your artistic side.
Yeah, it was just like a moment where I'm thinking like, I'm not happy. So if I'm not happy, I'm stressed. Stress causes health problems, health insurance. It's all associated in the path that I was doing. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna just try to figure out how to be a small business owner. And then I noticed my peers were doing the same thing. It's like we couldn't, like, creativity had to be looked at from a hobby perspective because we couldn't put everything into it because there's no benefits in it. So
and what if I were to tell you one day the state of Connecticut could have health insurance accessible, managed by the state, making it affordable, not with over expansive premiums that really don't even get to quality of access of healthcare, but the opposite, where you pay the right amount for the costs for having great healthcare, access to great healthcare.
Yeah, that's awesome. Sign me up. No, but yeah, keep me in the loop with things like that, because there's it's not just me. Like I'm the black sheep even of my peers, because it's either we're working a part-time and we're looking at it as a hobby, or you have those people who are looking at it as a hobby, but it's never been shown how to do this professionally or develop that professional criteria. So I'm sticking to the vision of it because it has a lot of questions that need answering as well.
Janetta, do you mind writing out your website again?
Yeah, I actually...
Awesome. And what we're going to do is we're going to post it up online.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you so much. And it's beautiful what you're doing with My City Initiative. Can you say a little bit more about how you're structured?
Yeah, I feel like I've been in the research and development aspect of it since I started it. The structure of it right now is like sole proprietor, but everything I do is to essentially like be the representation of how it could look as a full-time company one day, because that's my real goal, to be able to do this full-time. So I'm just being the representation of essentially my city initiative is the job I would have applied to 10 years ago, but it wasn't here. So I'm like, all right.
You created it.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and I'm ready to share that because I feel like there's an audience to it.
And so there's an audience for what you created. There was a void that needed to be filled. What was that void?
So showing creatives essentially how to use their, like, whatever part-time, full-time job you're doing and whatever passion you have, like how to engage with, like, activities that will set you up to get to where you want to be. So the structure that I've been working on so far, there's things that I've did over the past 2 years, just to try different events, work with different people, see how the flow would go. And those are the things that I'm noticing I want to continue. So I have like a one-on-one session that people could reach out to me for. I do things all from graphic design, photography, just being that non-judgmental air that you could bounce ideas off of, and product positioning. I show artists how to set themselves up remotely, because even being able to be remote with what you do, you still can have that part-time job. And that's essentially the niche that I see. There's no one like letting people know how to actually get there step by step. So I'm trying something different.
And so what I hear you're saying is there are creatives out there, artists, and
not even artists, like even regular marketing people, you know, design, art is art. Everything is
life
created.
is art.
Yeah, you know, so it's like essentially just helping anyone.
Because then, artists could exclude people because they're like, oh no, I'm not an artist. I'm not talented. And you're saying everybody's creative.
Yeah.
How can we tap into that creative juice? And that really is what brings like passion in life, to find an outlet, a safe outlet to express one's creativity.
Yep.
If one is human, we have that. Everyone.
Yes.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Thank
I
you.
love that. And then part of it is as well how to also create one's life where one's life evolves around in supporting one's creativity.
Yes.
So
that community, because I see being that my first professional career was in the food industry, I've done a lot of hobbying and as a musician, as a poet, as a performer for 12 years in Connecticut, all over the state. So I've met a bunch of different artists, and I'm like, wow, you do something cool. Okay, you do something cool. And it's like, oh, when it's time to meet up, everyone is working. And it's like, wow, what do you do for work? Oh, this restaurant, this, you know, it's we all know what it's like. So I seen that everyone's doing it. Like we're noticing that you have to be able to support the creatives. Like we need it. Like the economy needs it. The people need it. We need inspiration. We need entertainment. We need something positive to look at, and it's happening. So I'm just using where I've been in my lifetime to make my contribution to the same vision that's already happening.
So then people can go and get some support with one-to-one idea development, what's their branding and marketing, and then you also have for a group?
Yep. So Writer's Block is essentially a group activity that I did last summer. And we did it at Alicia's Bakery, keeping with the support small business theme. She's a small business owner. She has a bakeria right on Lafayette, downtown Bridgeport. And essentially what we did is we came together, me and a couple of peers, we all came together to essentially present a group. activity that kind of unlocks purpose, like asking the questions like, okay, what is your purpose? Are you there? Are you finding it? Do you care? Just
And those questions are relevant to anything,
Yep.
whether someone is trying to invest their energy and time and creativity in the biomedical field, which
Yep.
is something that's growing in Connecticut and in this area of town as well, in New Haven, or whether it's creative through the arts or starting up a nonprofit.
Yep.
That purpose is a big question.
Yeah. And essentially what I do for the people who reach out and want to be a part of like the one-on-ones or the group activities, I'm just a coach.
Nice.
I've noticed that I had a very stubborn approach to entrepreneurship. A lot of people say, hey, get the part-time job. And I've had the part-time job. It's just I'm getting to that age where it's like, okay, whatever I'm doing now, I have to like this has to be it. I'm not gonna say my age, but I'm closer to 30 than I am to 20. So I just taking myself a little bit more serious and showing the community that we can do this.
Regardless of age, what I'm hearing you say is life is precious.
Yeah.
And not to wait around wishing for the dream, that creative feeling of birthing something beautiful into this world, not letting it wait.
Yeah.
To actually get on the ball now, and people don't have to do it by themselves.
Yep.
You are actually creating safe spaces for people to walk through their own personal blockages.
Yep.
Something that I tell, especially young people, someone's like, oh, how did you actually went to and got lucky to actually go to a big name school? And it was like, how did you even get in? And I'm like, you know what? Something that I told one of my best friends, and she got in as well. She applied afterwards, and it was at Harvard University, and she was Filipina, I'm Guatemalan. And she's like, how did you get into Harvard? I was like, you know what? Most people, the first no that they hear is the one they give to themselves.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I just refuse to be the one to tell no to me.
Right.
And I said, and you better not do it to yourself either. And she applied and she got in.
Yep.
Yeah. And so
that's how we do it.
yeah. And so what you're doing is you're helping people unblock themselves, remove that language, which I saw with your writer's block, remove that language from their personal framework. Give yourself the opportunity to dream. Give yourself to answer the questions that guide you towards making your dream come true.
Right.
And so that's a beautiful thing, but it's so hard to do because the older we get, the great excuses we can come up with.
Yeah.
One of them being is, will I be able to provide my kids health insurance? But
exactly.
Hopefully government entities will take care of that so we can actually tap into the innovation spirit that we all have.
Yep.
That's beautiful. And your next phase.
Essentially, the goal and mission of My City Initiative is to instill pride in self-craft and community. So the one-on-one is the individual, the writer's block is as a group, and the downtown Bridgeport experience is something that we tried out to bring the community together. And essentially, I and John Campbell, he has a network called Biz Social Personal Touch, and John is awesome. I met him out here in New Haven, actually.
Oh, wow.
2 years ago, and we just kind of like been on this this wave of supporting each other in our crazy ideas. It's like, sometimes you just need that energy balance. Like, yeah, you can do it. It's like, you sure this isn't wild? But I've been able to help John from the one-on-one. He was there for the writer's block. He's kind of been there to bounce the ideas off of and support, like, just getting it out there and seeing what that would look like. So he has he's from Bridgeport as well. That's where we connect. And he has this vision of, like, community with restaurant and so much food and vendors. And I'm like, okay, there's a few ideas that we've tried to get to in the past, and this past March we actually did the walking tour, and essentially we partnered up with a few of the restaurants to provide discounts to the audience that came out.
Wow.
We had some Bridgeport businesses be a part of the audience, some people in the education field be a part of the audience, and essentially the walk was from my footsteps. It's like how I see downtown.
All the richness
yeah,
and resources that already exist.
Yeah, exactly. And we just brought the people to the places and tried something different. And there was good feedback. People say do it again, and I'm like, I'll keep that in mind. So now it's something that we have been open to, inviting other people down to be a part of the Bridgeport
downtown
experience.
Bridgeport experience. And you mentioned restaurants, and there's some delicious food out there.
Yeah, the food scene is awesome in Bridgeport.
It's like all over the world, global food.
Yeah, everywhere. You got the Jamaican spots, you have the Chinese restaurants, you have a new pho, which is Vietnamese. That's a new Vietnamese spot downtown. You got pizza, Portuguese. I mean, it's all of it is good.
and when my Filipino friend, she actually took me to Bridgeport to a pork restaurant.
Okay.
And Filipinos, for the most part, love pork.
Okay.
And there's this Filipino dish where the pork gets roasted underground for hours and hours and hours. With
that sounds great.
Tons of seasonings and stuff. So she heard this particular restaurant had that. But then she was going crazy where there was like pork chocolate chip cookies. So the salty and sweet combined.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So that was, it's right in Bridgeport.
Wow.
So you find a little of everything there too.
Okay. I got to check that one out. Awesome.
And so what's your next programming coming up?
The next programming is the Writer's Block. Yeah, I've been meeting a lot of new creatives, just people in general, just new people. I love people, and they've been popping up. So I'm going to be organizing another Writer's Block at Beehive in Bridgeport. And if people would like to stay up with that, they can email mycityinitiative@gmail.com. And
And so the website for people to find out more information is www.mycityinitiative.com. And you can also go on to our Facebook live feed. And if you don't have a pen and pencil, you can go and jot it down later, mycityinitiative.com. And so, Janetta, you're also an artist who makes music, writes prose, and not only that, you also make a merchandise celebrating pride in the cities in which we live and work.
Yeah.
And so today you're wearing New Haven Pride. Yes.
Shout out to New Haven.
Yes.
I love you guys. Yeah.
Thank you.
And New Haven is awesome. Like, everyone.
And I need to go on your website too and get some swag from there because I love what you had at your table that day.
Yeah. I got you. I got some swag for you that I'll show you after. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Yes.
Oh my God, thank you.
Of course.
Oh, that's so awesome. And www.mycityinitiative.com. You can also purchase some of your own swag. Have pride in the community in which you live and work. And here you have these. Are these partners?
These are people who have our product in store.
Oh.
So we're currently if you're in the New Haven area, we are in Strange Ways.
Right in Westville.
Yep. On 910 Whaley Ave. And then we are also in Hartford at Hartford Prince and Collab Exchange in Bridgeport, as well as the Book and Records Academy. And all of these people are like representation of the people who have just been guiding me along the way. So it's even still my way of giving back and making sure that I'm contributing to the the work out here.
That's beautiful. In strange ways, yeah, right on Whaley Ave here in Westville, so people can get their own swag.
Yep.
And support this beautiful work. So where do the profits go when they buy?
So the profits essentially go into continuing our work.
Your mission.
Yeah, it goes into product. It goes into hosting the venues, feeding the people when we're there. It's direct reflection. Where you invest is where you see it happen. Yeah.
So supporting your business right now, set up as a sole entrepreneur, sole proprietor. It's a business created by a local leader, yourself.
Oh.
And yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. And people buying local, going to Strange Ways or Academy Books, etc. Records and Hartford Prints and Collab Exchange, like supporting this is supporting not just yourself, but all the other creatives who are supported through the work that you're doing. Yes. So thank you very much.
I'm trying out here.
And so this show, not to get you all nervous or anything.
No, it's okay.
Is half English, half Spanish.
Oh.
So we'll be back in Spanish, but when you come back to us at 3:30, we're going to listen to one of your latest songs that came out. And so a las 3:30 seguiremos esta conversación en español con Janetta y nuestra amiga con la iniciativa de Mi Ciudad, ubicado en Bridgeport, apoyando a las personas en nuestras comunidades a que sean creativas y pueden manifestar sus sueños en realidad. Gracias por estar con nosotros. We'll be back at 3:30 to listen more from Janetta. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Community Health Center Inc. estrena nuevo centro médico en el 22 de Fifth Street en Stanford. Todos los servicios médicos, pediátricos, de atención urgente y de salud mental en nuestro nuevo edificio con amplio estacionamiento. En Community Health Center Inc. creemos que tu salud es un derecho, no un privilegio. Community Health Center Inc. 22 de Fifth Street en Stanford, Connecticut. 203-323-8160.
Prepárense para obtener su licencia de conducir en Connecticut. Ahora en New Haven, preparamos a personas indocumentadas y documentadas. Las clases son de 8 horas obligatorias por el Departamento de Motores y Vehículos. Y estas clases incluyen drogas y alcohol y técnicas para manejar de manera segura. Estas clases también incluyen un manual para el estudio para pasar el examen escrito y 100 preguntas que posiblemente estén en el examen. ¿Por qué? Porque a nosotros nos interesa que usted pase el examen a la primera vez que lo tome. Estamos localizados en el 51 de Elm Street, Suite 307, tercer piso, New Haven, Connecticut, código postal 06510. El número de teléfono 203-376-0864 o el 203-907-0361. Las clases son miércoles y jueves. Estamos certificados por el Departamento de Motores y Vehículos DMV del estado de Connecticut. Ahora es el tiempo y el momento.
Terror en una localidad de Florida por una invasión de sapos. Este es tu mundo verde. Una gran invasión de sapos bufos o sapos gigantes azota la ciudad de Palm Beach Gardens en la Florida. Según algunos residentes, los sapos comenzaron a aparecer en las aceras y en los jardines de las casas. Esta especie de sapos es tóxica para los perros, los gatos y algunos pequeños animales, y su secreción también puede provocar alergia y sarpullido en los seres humanos. Los especialistas aún no saben la causa de esta inesperada invasión de estos bufónidos. Se presume que un lago cercano con una sobrepoblación de sapos sea la causa de esta invasión, y residentes como Jenny y Quasha temen que si no se hace algo al respecto, la población de sapos seguirá creciendo y se apoderará del vecindario. Marisabel Houston, CNN, Atlanta.
Estás escuchando La Voz Hispana Radio, 103.5 FM, New Haven.
Especially like today, I don't go to the club on Tuesdays. I don't ask for the why on whose name. Friends laugh when I ask, that's who playing Lupe, and the song is how. Been living in the basement a long time, keyword living, so what I'm coming out for. Brother saying that cousin doesn't have his back. Heard some say friends turning into maze. Question is which one you keep closer. Sleep sober, I let the knock out to the beats over. Yeah, they question it like she's sober or not. See, you're missing the point. My biological clock should not be the subject of focus or your view of why I'm not at the top. Cause if I'm cutting the grass just to see snakes, what the cows gonna eat? I'm looking at stakes. Outside of me losing, I'll give whatever it takes. But what is my it? Yeah, I'm hitting the brakes. Hold up, wait, as a kid, yeah. They said take my head out the clouds. Years later, put a phone in this place. It's funny when your life is like a living punt, yeah. You're breathing, but you're feeling like the biggest one. Kinda ghost, kinda toast, skip a toast, do the most, who the best, where the keys, work it out, put it down, stop a text, be with me. On Tuesdays, on whose name, like who's playing?
Wow, so much talent just ooze out of you. It's amazing.
Oh, it's not just me. You know, that video, definitely shout out to my friends, Judah, Coach Judah, Ari Serrano, he's a designer out here. And we all used to just kick it back in the day and just bounce creative energy off of each other, like constant. So a lot of what you guys see has been that, you know. It's just I've learned through learning business and entrepreneurship, like transferable skills. So it's like, okay, if I can do music, right, what else can I do? So that's how I've learned to look at like translating it into becoming an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So now we're joined with our Spanish-speaking audience.
Okay.
So I'm going to translate and introduce you. Aquí tenemos nuestra amiga Janetta.
Hola.
Ella está ubicada en Bridgeport. You could say hi to Bridgeport too.
Hola, Bridgeport, my city.
Y Janetta es una artista que tiene una misión, y la misión es apoyando a la creatividad de la comunidad, de todos los miembros de la comunidad, para utilizar la siembra que cada uno como seres humanos tenemos a que florezca la creatividad de nuestras vidas. Y utilizando el término artista, hay veces que mucha gente dice, yo no soy artista, no puedo ser arte. Ella dice, todos por ser humanos somos creativos, y en cualquier sector de trabajo, si es en la ciencia, si es en arte, en cualquier área uno puede ser creativo, y apoya que la gente derrame las barreras que uno enfrenta o crea en su propia vida, para que uno mismo ya no esté limitado por los bloques que uno se crea en su vida para ser creativo. Y lo hace por medio de su iniciativa que se llama Mi Ciudad Iniciativa. Y llegó con nosotros desde Bridgeport. Y nos pueden ver en Facebook Live, en La Voz Hispana CT. Y por el momento tiene ¿cómo se dice? Mercancía que creó celebrando las ciudades, donde hay mucha gente creativa. Y tenemos un gorro de New Haven, your hat, which says New Haven. You're showing off the beautiful merchandise. Yes. Y un suéter de Bridgeport, un suédero de Bridgeport, y me regaló esta camiseta de 100% algodón. I love the cotton feel. New Haven. I'm going to wear this so proudly. Nací y crecí acá en New Haven. No nací en New Haven, nací en Guatemala, pero crecí acá en New Haven desde los 4 años de edad. Y siempre quería tener algo que dice New Haven, porque con mucho orgullo soy de acá, crecí acá, and so ever since I was little, I wanted to have a T-shirt that said New Haven on it.
Awesome.
I know.
Okay.
This is amazing, and I have to tell you, I lived out of state, 3 different states at some point in time in my life, and when I would go far out, somehow would meet another person who grew up in New Haven, and we were automatic friends.
Wow.
And it's like New Haven's children gets thrown out into the world, and you're automatic friends.
That's funny.
It's such a phenomenon that every time it happened, I was like, wow.
Yeah, it's an attraction, man. Like people just, it's a good vibe.
Now people can make it official.
Right.
Ahora pueden conseguir su propia camiseta que dice New Haven, o Bridgeport, o Hartford, por yendo a la página web que se llama mycityinitiative.com. Y cuando uno compra esta mercancía, también está apoyando la misión del trabajo de My City Initiative, que da consulta 1 a 1 para que una persona pueda desarrollar sus ideas, crear su mensaje, cómo vender o posicionar el producto al mundo, todo sobre cómo comunicar con el público de lo que uno está haciendo y su marca. Y de ahí también trabaja con el grupo. Y en grupo hablan sobre las ideas que uno tiene, que quiere manifestar al mundo, incluyendo cuáles son los bloques y a cambiar cuando uno se habla en una manera negativa, como yo no puedo hacer esto, yo no puedo hacer lo otro. Ella trabaja en grupo para que uno escribe una nueva narrativa, una nueva manera de pensar entre sí mismo. Y estamos hablando de que muchas veces el primer no que escuchamos en la vida es el no que uno se da a sí mismo y no se da la oportunidad de lanzar sus sueños en realidad. Y de ahí también empezó a hacer una colaboración riquísima, like the last piece here just sounded delicious.
Awesome.
Caminando por la ciudad de Bridgeport, conociendo los diferentes negocios pequeños, los restaurantes pequeños, conociendo la comunidad, los recursos, la riqueza que existe hoy mismo en la ciudad de Bridgeport. Y muchas personas ya participaron y les encantó, y va a seguir haciendo eso también. Entonces, para más información pueden entrar a la página web de My City Initiative y están ubicados en Bridgeport. Y la canción que acaban de escuchar se llama en inglés After 2 Times It's Begging, y en español después de 2 veces rogando, estás rogando. And so, what are the themes in that song?
So, I always introduce this song as a song for me. I used to be very naive, and I used to be very eager to just get it done. You know, I see the vision, I see the vibe. There's the the atmosphere, and I just have a mindset of like, okay, let's get it done. And it took me a while to see that if certain things aren't happening, like, I know what it looks like for progress to happen like that easily, but there's times where there's obstacles, and it's like, okay, after trying it twice, is there something else that needs to be observed? Is there a reason why it's not happening? So the song is always that reminder to slow myself down on the journey.
And pay attention.
Yes. Yep.
To what the universe is trying to tell you.
Exactly. And I always share that. I always share that song because I know what it meant for me. So I see my peers, I see my family, and I'm like, I don't know what to say, but here's a song that helped me get through that part.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's deep and beautiful,
Thank
profound. And I'm going to translate that really fast.
Yes.
La canción Después de dos veces es Rogando. Fue inspirado por el camino de la vida que ha tomado Shanera, donde si uno atenta a hacer algo una vez, otra vez, y no lo logra, y antes seguía tratando, y sentía como si estaba yendo contra la corriente, y en realidad era como tenía que parar de lo que estaba haciendo y poner más atención de por qué no está funcionando. No hay que tener la mente tan cerrada que decir, yo tengo esta visión y la visión tiene que ser igualita a lo que yo estoy pensando, y de ahí luchando, cuando dice, yo ahora ya sé cómo es cuando se siente uno que se está progresando en el proyecto que uno tiene en mente, y también sé que es enfrentar barrera. Y si yo nomás pongo pausa, reflejo en donde estoy y veo qué está funcionando y cómo puedo cambiar un poco lo que estoy haciendo, de allí logra ser un logro. Y no hay que luchar tanto. Y ella dice, yo veo a mi comunidad, a mi familia, a mis amistades que luchan, y en la verdad no hay que luchar tanto. Uno a veces nomás tiene que tomar las cosas con calma, estar presente, reflexionar, y de ahí ver cómo es que uno puede manejar las cosas de una manera diferente para encontrar el logro. And so that's really beautiful.
Thank you.
Y hay un dicho en español de que si el universo dice no por varias maneras, es porque no es lo mejor por uno. Like if the universe says no in different ways, then it's because it's not the best thing for you.
Yeah.
And
you just gotta keep at the drawing board. That's why I like being an artist. Everything's a canvas, you know.
Que hay que tomar la vida más como uno está pintando o dibujando algo, que si no funciona hay que ser creativo y ver la manera en la cual que sí uno puede lograr lo que uno quiere, pero no siempre con la primera visión se va a hacer realidad exactamente con esos mismos detalles. Puede tener otros detalles y conseguir lo mismo de lo que uno quiere del corazón. That's beautiful. And so you're supporting other creatives.
Yeah.
You're selling merchandise and creating a sense of pride in communities. And it's so important. A lot of people may not know, but maybe a lot of people do. Connecticut, it's one of the wealthiest states in the country.
Yep.
With the largest wealth disparity.
Yep.
Que aquí en Connecticut hay mucha gente que son los más ricos de todo el país de los Estados Unidos. Y también hay una diferencia bien grande, la más grande que se encuentra en el país de los Estados Unidos entre los quienes tienen dinero y los quienes no. And so that wealth gap is huge. And as a result, growing up in New Haven, Hartford, Bridgeport, when I was growing up, they gave us a bad name.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like flipping it.
Yeah. Because it's about perspective.
Yes.
And, you know, I feel like, shout out to my mom and dad, you know, I just pay attention to the things that they ask for. And once I realized, oh, this is simple. And it's not that hard to do. Like, you build good character after a while. And it's like, if I'm from Bridgeport, then Bridgeport can get
Itself
it
and
can
be
happen.
glorious.
Right, because like this is what I see, and I see it here. I'm doing it here, so and I see it all throughout Connecticut because I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y de ahí, con esa disparidad en ingreso entre las ciudades de Hartford, Bridgeport, New Haven, en comparación con otras ciudades del estado de Connecticut, esas tres ciudades han tenido un mal nombre acá en el estado de Connecticut, y es más por esa diferencia de dinero, pero el dinero no es todo. Y lo que está haciendo Shanera es aportando oportunidades para que gente se siente con orgullo siendo de cualquier de estas tres ciudades que ha tenido un mal nombre en el pasado, y especialmente celebrando la creatividad que existe. Y Shanera dijo, mis padres me inculcaron a hacer ciertas cosas, tomar ciertas decisiones con ciertos valores, y de ahí he logrado mucho. Yo creo que si yo he podido lograr lo que he hecho en esta vida siendo de Bridgeport, la ciudad de Bridgeport también tiene muchas razones por qué tener orgullo. So that's just beautiful, because I always found, like, growing up in New Haven, it got under-celebrated.
Yeah.
Where I felt so privileged having grown up here. So you went off to college too.
Yeah.
Did you go out of state?
No,
You stayed
Bridgeport,
in
born and
Bridgeport?
raised. Yeah, I went to
Awesome.
Housatonic Community College.
Awesome.
I took up small business management and entrepreneurship, and my first year of I got to practice the small business management aspect after a month after getting my degree.
What?
And
That's
I got
amazing.
hired at a place called Brewport out in Bridgeport. Worked there for about a year, and then life happened, and I just followed the energy of what felt right, and I just said, stay here. And I'm like, okay. And you know, at the moment, you know, having left the job and a bunch of I was moving out of my apartment at the time, so I was in a very transitional period, and like everything was just saying stick with the vision, and for me the vision is Bridgeport, so I'm like,
Nice.
all right. And I was able to unfold all of this without getting my bachelor's just yet. Not to say that I don't want to get my bachelor's, but for how broad of things I wanted to do, I just wanted to try the entrepreneurial aspect out afterwards. And it has been about 2 years since I've been working on this, so
Wow.
it's working. It's going. You know, people are being receptive and supportive of it, and that feels really good. So
That's so great. De que Shanera terminó sus cursos como asociada en la Universidad Comunitaria Housatonic en Bridgeport, y se enfocó en el apoyo para pequeños negociantes, y un mes después de terminar su certificación como asociada de la universidad, empezó un mes después en su propio negocio, y pues no, apoyando un negocio, y estaba ahí un año. So 1 year you were with the first job,
yeah.
Utilizando lo que aprendió en la universidad, y de allí después empezó su propio negocio, y 2 años todavía le va bien. So it's going well in 2 years, and so well I won't say from where because I don't have the details, but congratulations on your award.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I was sending you
y
those.
que le va tan bien luchando para sus sueños, que no es una gran lucha, es escuchando, reflexionando y siendo con mucha creatividad, tomando los pasos, y le acaban de dar un reconocimiento que se llama reconocimiento para el héroe cívico desde la ciudad de Bridgeport. Oh, that's so amazing. The Civic Hero Award, recognizing you as a civic hero in Bridgeport. That is so beautiful. And for those who want to go out and support, they can get their tickets to attend the event. That's bptgenow.org. bptgenow.org.
Yep, Bridgeport Gen Now. Yep.
That's awesome.
You guys rock. Oh my gosh.
That is so awesome. You
Wow.
see, you're doing beautiful thing. Yeah, like you said, this work is needed. Como dijiste, que este tipo de trabajo se necesita. La sociedad donde vivimos muchas veces nos dice uno no debe de tener el derecho en soñar, especialmente si uno viene de bajos ingresos o muchas barreras que uno tiene que enfrentar. Pero aquí estás con nosotros haciendo todo posible, lo que se miraba imposible. And so, you know, what you're doing is so important because society often tells us, you know, you don't have permission to dream. Mm-hmm. And especially if you weren't born with a golden spoon in your mouth.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And here you are, making the impossible possible.
Wow.
And not only for self, but supporting others.
Yeah, and God be working. It's not just me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, God does God's job. So, yeah.
Que dice que yo no lo estoy haciendo solita, que Dios está conmigo y Dios está haciendo el labor y Él está haciendo un buen trabajo. That's so true. So before we leave, we have maybe about 3 more minutes, and you have a very calming energy.
Oh,
and
you.
when people think of small entrepreneurs, it's like nonstop running around. There's so many things to do. You're your own accountant.
Yep.
You're your own marketer. You're your own content development person.
Yeah.
Doing the products and, you know, and talking to customers, PR. Like, you do it all. So how do you remain so calm?
Yoga. Friends who are in the wellness field. I have 2 best friends who are massage therapists.
They'd be my best friends too.
Yeah. my girlfriend's an esthetician. She's actually in the car downstairs listening.
Awesome.
Shout out to you. So, but I've noticed there was a period of time where I dropped everything just to figure it out. I mean, I stopped going out. I stopped a lot of things, and I guess, and the reality of all of it, it was a period of anxiety, you know, and I was trying to prevent certain things from happening. So it's just all the books that I read, they all say invest in your exercise, invest in breathing, invest in yoga, stretching, stay flexible.
Nice.
And not just that, like, being that I've done music for 12 years, like stage performance and just being ready all the time, it looks different as you like practice it and you get older. Because don't get me wrong, everything you said before is correct. There's a lot of running around. Like,
but now you make time for self-care.
Yeah, and this is actually a part of it because you know, it's all about perspective, and the goal right now for this is to make sure the vision of it is communicated. So you kind of got to be calm so that people understand like what's happening.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I'm going to translate that real fast. Yo estaba preguntándole a Shanera cómo es que ella se mantiene tan calmada, porque aquí estoy sentada enfrente de ella y se siente la calma, y yo sé que para los pequeños negociantes hay mucho que hacer siempre. Uno está en carrera todo el día, es su propio, haciendo todo de contabilidad, todo de promoción, relaciones públicas, haciendo los productos, creando los productos, y es bastante que hacer, pagando los biles, así, los cobros, y de ahí, ¿cómo es que ella se mantiene así tan calmada? Ella me dijo, yo te cuento de que no era siempre así. En el principio yo paré todo, no me estaba cuidando, ni tenía una vida social, y de ahí se me subió el nivel de ansiedad, el estrés, y 2 de sus mejores amigas son masajistas, y yo dije, también serían mis buenas amigas también. Y tiene una comunidad que le apoya en mantener su bienestar, su salud. Ella hace yoga todos los días, y hay que mantenerse uno flexible en el cuerpo y en la mente, which is beautiful, because you were like, you have to stay flexible, and you were talking about yoga, but your work is staying flexible in the mind. You're training people to stay flexible in their mind, heart, and spirit.
Oh, wow.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Que mientras uno va, hay que mantenerse flexible en el cuerpo. El trabajo que hace Janetta con My City Initiative es apoyando a la gente de la comunidad, los individuos, a que se mantengan flexibles en la mente, en el corazón y en el espíritu. Y gracias por estar con nosotros hoy con Juntos Podemos, Together We Can, donde celebramos las personas que crean con nosotros un mundo mejor y más justo. So great to have you at Together We Can, Juntos Podemos, where we celebrate co-creators of a kinder and more just world. What a pleasure.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, guys. Gracias.
Been living in the basement a long time. Keyword living, so what I'm coming out for. Brother saying that cousin doesn't have his back. Heard some say friends turning into maze. Question is which one you keep closer. Sleep sober, another knockout to the beat's over. Yeah, they question it like she's sober or not. See, you're missing the point. My biological clock should not be the subject of focus or your view of why I'm not at the top. Cause if I'm cutting